Yes, nurse, as I say, electric shock treatment. It is the only way to be sure. Administer it yourself. Give it that personal touch. And just amp it up a little bit. From me. Ah! Now where were we? Ah, yes. Would you like to see my mask? Now, I use it in my experiments. It probably isn't very frightening to a guy like you. But to these crazies, they scream, they shout. It's being modelled by my glamorous assistant here, Mr. Kentucky Fudge. If you will, please, sir. Here he is now. Why, what is that upon your face there, Mr. Fudge? It looks like a brontosaurus testicle. Have you been teabagging dinosaurs lately? Look at this. Yes, folks, this is the mask that turned up the other day while I was reviewing the Nosferatu mask. And I said, oh, I'll show you that later. Oh, that's drill treatments in the therapy room in the west wing of the asylum. Yes, we have a dentist here as well. Yeah, now, I said I was going to show you that mask. Well, I just did. But when I opened it, I thought, oh, shit. That's not what I wanted. But it's my fault, though. I ordered it. And really speaking, I'm now, after my initial disdain, I'm going to look at it properly. Because I haven't really given it the time of day. I thought, maybe we could share that moment together. You, me, Mr. Kentucky Fudge. And who's been proudly wearing it ever since. And he hasn't complained yet, you know. But I cut out his tongue, so he can't. Say nothing. You can't. But yeah, I made a mistake. It's a Rubies mask. Yes, I know, I've been going on about Rubies being not the best of mask makers around. And, you know, and you agree. But lately I've had a few good ones, which is why I was saying, you know, oh, Rubies, maybe they're not that bad. Rubies have the sort of, the corner of the market with Dark Knight Trilogy masks. There's lots and lots and lots of them. And I saw the Scarecrow one because lately I've had a lot of pumpkin masks and a few Scarecrow masks. And I sort of had a bit of a Scarecrow-y type kick, you could say. And because the crows around here are terrible, you know. And I saw this and I didn't do my homework. I genuinely thought that it was a full deluxe mask. And because I've been smitten by a couple of their stuff that I purchased recently, I thought, you know, Rubies, I'm going to give them a go. Here is the actual tag. It's one of them big, massive tags that's as big as the goddamn mask, you know. And as you might see there, it says the Dark Knight Trilogy. Now, there is stuff that came out from Batman Begins, from the Dark Knight, and from the Dark Knight Rises masks and what have you. But this actually seems to be, wow, it's gone suddenly very sunny in here. Have I been completely warped out there? Well, if not, I assume will be, because I've got whiskey over here. But yeah, it seems to be taken on the Dark Knight Trilogy now. So, you know, whatever. They can do whatever they want. What I'd like to see, and they haven't released it as yet, Dr. Jonathan Crane uses his fear toxin, which makes what is just a sackcloth Baal mask. Ain't that terrifying? But it makes those who witness it once they've been, they see him as this maggot-ridden, writhing, contorted, hallucinogenic mass of horror. And when Batman puts it onto, he turns the tables, doesn't he, in Batman Begins? Great film. Taste your own medicine, doctor. And, or rather, taste your own medicine, doctor. And Jonathan Crane then sees a contorted, gargoyle, monstrous bat, with black eyes oozing sort of black blood as well. They should do a mask of that, because that looks incredible. I have not got a Batman cap. I'm lying. I have, but it's not mine. It's my son's, and he got that when he was only a little kid. But I have not got a Batman cowl because I don't know. There's so many of them on the market, and I want a really good one, and the really good ones cost a lot of money. And you know, truth be told, he's one of my heroes. If I was going to go into that, I'd want the whole thing. But I'm never going to wear it. So you know, as most of my heroes' costumes, I get ones that I will wear. So Anyway, back to the case in point. This mask here looks like an execution there, doesn't he? You know, you'd always see them, you know, on the scaffold. Bloody hell. Robo Mosquito has just arrived. Mr. Fudge, if you will, allow me to deface you. Here he is! Mr. Fudge. Hello, sir. How are you? Yes. Get back on guard duty. Go and kill the guy with that drill. Right, so here we go. It is not a full head deluxe mask. Had I done a bit more, literally 5 seconds more research, I'd have known that and I probably wouldn't have got it. So yeah, it's just a face mask, which kind of lets the side down, doesn't it? Elasticated. And it's one of the pongiest of masks that I've ever received, actually. When I first unwrapped it, I then woke up on the floor about an hour later, high as a kite, you know. But my God, is this one pungent. But anyway, let's take you on a tour around it. It's not, I mean, facially, well, that's all you've got to go on, isn't it? It's not a bad recreation. As I always say, timing is everything. And I picked the time to do the video when someone's renovating a bloody house. One of the tenants getting a bit frisky with the power tools. I'll soon put a stop to that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. Face off, not that bad. The paintwork on this rope is a bit shit. It's coming adrift. It's not that well applied, which is a shame. Texture-wise, it's actually really good. You get that Hessian burlap effect. You've definitely got that. The clumsy, haphazard stitching. You know, once again, we're going for that Leatherface sort of look, aren't we? You know, everything's a bit more clumsy, a bit more mismanaged. But it's not that bad. You've got a few little rips and tears. I mean, they're meant to be there. Like here, there's one over here. The eye holes look are pretty decent. The stitching around the mouth is pretty good. At least that's black. This other stitching is just sculpted in and doesn't seem to stand out with any kind of 3D effect, really. You've got some sort of stainage there, which at first and on some pictures looks like it's kind of blood. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. Sort of dried in blood. And there's a few other stainage around there. That's not that bad. Apart from the rope there, which I'm not impressed with. The rest of it isn't too bad. You know? But it's only a half mask. It's just a face mask, which is such a shame. That's what's really let it down. But, you know, if you're just going to hang it somewhere, I suppose, just display it, it isn't that bad. So really speaking, why am I complaining? I mean, I like a lot of my masks are actually on mannequin heads, and or they're on, you know, single malt, you know, cases from whiskey, or other such paraphernalia to prop them up. And they can be moved around, and you can turn them around, and you get that full head 3D effect. With this, you really couldn't do that, unless, of course, you drape it over, you know, a young accomplice, a young willing, royal willing. Nod if you're willing. I said nod if you're willing. There you go. Did I not tell you to go and sort that out? I just can't get the staff, can you? A staff shortfall, you could say. But yeah, there you go. I'm only showing you because people said, like, oh, I want to see that mask that arrived that day. Well, now you do. And, you know, as I say, I've got to be a little bit more pragmatic about this and a bit more, you know, look, you get what you paid for. It wasn't that expensive. I didn't have it already. It does fit in with my vogue, my current vogue of, well, scarecrows, and a little bit of, you know, Batman stuff as well. I showed you the Joker mask, the resin mask, and there's more Batman stuff to show you. So, you know, you know what I'm like now. Those of you who stuck with me know that I drift into a fad and then another fad and another one, but they're never fads that anyone else is into at that time. I always come to them when I want to come to them. Damn it, down to me. But yeah, wow, we are due for a heat wave, and believe it or not, just before I came out here to film this, the skies were black, and it was just completely, another storm coming perhaps just before, the heat wave. But no, now it's bright as hell in here, and I can't see a fucking thing. So, speaking of not seeing a fucking thing, let's see what I can see through this. Slightly misshapen, but that's just my face. You're taking this all too seriously. You need to lighten up. Not that bad, is it? It's not that bad. It's just, that's when it all goes shit. Oh, is that all there is to it? But then again, if you put a hood up, see, you don't have to be Jonathan Crane as the Scarecrow. You could be any sort of horrific, monstrous Scarecrow. And in that respect, it works really well. So you can't go wrong with that on that front. And this big jagged mouth, the sort of misshapen eyes, that decrepit. It looks sickly and decomposed, doesn't it? It looks nasty. Let's tuck the hair away and let's see. Oh, it gives it more of a thuggish effect now, doesn't it? More like some home invasion, home invasion disguise. It is nasty though, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The sun is gonna absolutely blast its way through these windows. You can hear the awesome score from Batman Begins. Jonathan Crane as a Scarecrow appears in all three movies. He's one of the featured villains in the first movie. He has a little cameo in Batman's introduction in The Dark Knight. And then he's the hanging judge, isn't he? Or rather, the ice judge, ruling over the Bane's New Gotham in Dark Knight Rises. But he really is underused. And to be honest, although Cillian Murphy's fantastic, he's massively underused in the movies. Even the one where he's meant to be one of the main villains in it, he's not that memorable. The character himself is. If you ever get a chance to read the Joseph Loeb, the Long Halloween Batman graphic novel, oh my god, his segment when he escapes from Arkham, Jesus. There's such great artwork. I should have brought the book down to show you. There's such great artwork there when they realise who's got out. Even Batman looks absolutely terrified. No, not the Scarecrow. And all the guards like that, their eyes are wide with fear. And the next page is a shot during a lightning thunderstorm, and you've got the Scarecrow on a horse riding out. He's escaped. He's on the loose. Oh, it's fucking great. You don't get that effect really. I mean, this whole facial digital morphing CG, camo carnage face thing is a nice little gimmick in the movie, but it, really speaking, he didn't need that. His fear toxin is enough, but to morph the face, he should have been frightening enough just to see that, and the mad eyes. But anyway, nothing tops Joker anyway. And speaking of Joker and Batman, have you heard the rumours about Michael Keaton returning to play Batman in the Flash one-off movie with that Ezra bloke? I'm not into the Flash, by the way, so all I've heard is that Michael Keaton could be coming back to play Batman. Obviously, he's going to be a lot older though, so I don't know how it's going to figure out. I don't know what the story is, but that'd be great to see that. Michael Keaton's incarnation of Batman is still an all-time favourite. Nuanced, idiosyncratic, slightly crazed. He didn't quite. There's an unpredictable nature to them, but Christian Bale's one is the realistic Batman, the one that could and should exist. Whereas Michael Keaton's is the stylised one from the Gothic well that Tim Burton created for Batman, and the whole Bob Kane look, and it worked brilliant. I'd see him come back. I'm not into the Flash, but I'll watch the Flash if it's got Michael Keaton as Batman in it, definitely. And the other Batman news is, of course, that filmmaker Joel Schumacher died yesterday. Don't worry, I'm not going into another big tribute and obituary, because, you know, as talented as he was, he'd been struggling for many years with illness, and he hadn't actually made a film since 2013, maybe even earlier than that, for a long time anyway. But it's sad news, but he did do two of the worst Batman movies going. Batman Forever, which I actually like, but Batman and Robin, the neon nightmares that were the Schumacher tenure of Batman. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But then again, this is the guy that brought us The Lost Boys and Falling Down with Michael Douglas. There you go, there you go. Stamped into the top of it there is the DC copyright. There's nothing actually on the inside apart from a little stitched in label. Scarecrow adult mask. Made in COVID China, sorry. But you know what? Look, I made a gaff there, and if I'd known it wasn't a full deluxe mask, I wouldn't have bought it. And yet, I'm not going to send that back. I actually quite like it now. Now I know its limitations. A good mask always knows its limitations. You know, that sounds also like one of those really searingly hot farts you do the day after you've had a night on the curry. And you go, oh, this will be a little quiet one. And it goes, like that. And, and it burns on the way out. Or is that just me? But yeah, I actually don't mind this now. And it looks pretty good when my glamorous assistant here sports it. So it's going to go back on Kentucky. There he is. I think you'll agree, it looks far better on him. It does, mate, it does. You're pretty, I know, you don't want to mask your face that, but, you know, you do look really hot and scary. Folks, that was just a little video, as usual, filled with copious interruptions and environmental, meteorological, intrusions. Here's my damn whiskey. But yeah, people wanted to see what that mask was, and I wasn't going to show it, but hey, what the hell, Dan, you made a mistake. You bought a mask which I think was falsely advertised, and you paid a fair bit of money for that, and it turned out to be a turd fest. We all do this, mate. I've got hundreds of masks up there, many of them, no, not many, but some are certainly absolute clunkers. But yeah, I'm not one of these to immediately, oh right, that's shit, I'm sending it back, God, no. In a way, I think it's part of your own collection history, the odd fuck up now and again, and they take on a bit of a life and an aspect of their own, just because they're shit and you screwed up. But, again, that's just me. Some people want to get their money's worth. Anyway, there's going to be more Batman stuff. Some of it might be a bit more unusual than you might expect. Perhaps a guest appearance from Bane, maybe. Getting ahead of myself, of course. But anyway, folks, that was, and indeed still is, Rubies' adult Scarecrow mask from the Dark Knight trilogy. Half mask, but not that bad, to be honest. Detail-wise, it's there. Texture-wise, it's there. Paint job, pretty damn good, to be honest. It's just not a deluxe overhead mask. If you can live with that, then hey, it's a good mask. Perfect for display. Right, in the meantime, and indeed the in-between time, you guys keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. Be happy, be healthy. And I'm going to see y'all later. Yes. Another large whiskey when you can, please. What am I paying these people for?